In this lesson, we are going to adjust our script to actually be flexible between testnet and mainnet. And of course, we're going to be able to deploy our contract to mainnet as well. So we will introduce an environmental variable, testnet, and we will set this variable inside of our script. So our script will know which network it has to use. And we'll also adjust our code. So the first thing, let's update the script file. So we will actually explicitly say mainnet on the after script. So, and here we will also put the, so basically here we will put the testnet true. So this is environmental variable. And here we will not put any of the variables because by default we want it to be testnet. So you wouldn't just coincidentally deploy it. You would have to explicitly say mainnet deploy to actually deploy it, use it normally. We'll update our code and you will understand how to use this variable then. And here we are also going to have like mainnet. Great. So now we would need to actually configure .env variables here. And for this, we'll need to install this library. So let's see where we would want to actually change the code. Where are we dependent on the testnet? So it's obviously this subdomain. It's also here the address if it's test or not. Also, maybe we'll have more places in the on-chain test. But let's update it. So we will start with the link. So basically, we're going to say that use process env testnet. So if it's set and true, then we are going to put the test here. Otherwise, we'll just put the empty string. So this way, we can actually understand to put their testnet or not. Test. And yes, and we can also do here. So we can just do like this, true or false. Otherwise, it will be false. So basically, this is it for the deploy. And for on-chain test, we will do the same thing. We configure the .env. And now let's find so here we have to choose the right network. So if process env testnet, then we're going to use network testnet. Otherwise, we're going to use mainnet. Now we need to search for more dependencies, yes. So we can do just like we did here. And the connection is proper here. Where do we have more dependencies? I guess we don't have any more dependencies. So basically now we can run yarn deploy. And this is expected. We can also update our console logs on deploy to actually say on which network it will be deployed. To deploy the contract to, and here we will specify. So again, if process environment testnet, then we will say testnet. Otherwise, we will say mainnet. And now let's test it again. We had to change the passing variable to the actual script that we are running here. And actually, for mainnet, we don't need it even. And here, we want to use it here. Yeah, so we would need to pass environment variable before running script, not the compile script. So now let's run it again. Yarn deploy. So now it's actually going to be deployed to testnet. So, but we want to, because we already deployed it to testnet, right? So if we go with deploy mainnet, we can see that it's now going to be deployed to mainnet. And I'm going to actually deploy it to mainnet now. So we'll be able to see it on Explorer too. So I'm deploying it via TON-Hub. So I'm scanning the QR code and I'm confirming the deploy transaction on TON-Hub now with real money. And we're going to take the address and check on the TON scan, on the real one, check for the deploy transaction. As you can see, I never deployed it to mainnet just now. And I only see one transaction, so this was deploy transaction, and it made our contract active. So what we can do now, we can adjust the script of on-chain test, also to work with testnet. I believe we already have adjusted it, so let's now run the yarn on-chain test mainnet. We already tested it on testnet and it was working properly. So at this point of time, we already know that it's working properly on testnet. And just to not spend too much of your time, I'm not going to do the same test on the mainnet because that's exactly why we need testing, right? So you actually made it. So far, you made it through the whole life cycle of the contract development. Congratulations. And just let me remind you that this custom setup that we just built, you don't have to use it this way. I went through every step of the compilation, custom testing, custom deploy. So you would actually have a better understanding of how it works. And you will meet more and more tools that will actually remove you from the low level of abstraction. And this is good. We like tools, even developers who program a lot and they know all the details, we like to actually get away from the very low level stuff that we need to do manually. And you will probably use Blueprint most of the time. So in the next chapter, we are going to write some more fancy logic, we're going to write some more tests, and we are going to actually change our script so it would be completely the same like in Blueprint. So we will start using Blueprint a lot under the hood. So basically, whatever you've learned here, this is going to be very useful for you in next chapters as well. But feel free to just use Blueprint and generate empty project there with all generated files. And now you know how to use them because now you understand what is the step, what is the process, and what are the things that are required for you to know to actually deploy your contracts, compile them. So thank you for going with me through this chapter. I'm looking forward to see you in the next one. And I'm really happy that you have so much motivation to learn TON programming that you made it this far. See you soon.